Alright, so we're going to be painting this bust of Kratos. I'm going to be doing it a little bit differently than I'm usually painting. So I'm going to be painting this. Let's see if I can focus. Here we go. Okay. This bust of Kratos. It's 3D printed with Solutech black PLA on Ender-3 with 0.2 layer heights. I still have to prime the piece the way I would traditionally with any of the other figures or prints that I've done. Okay, so after I let the piece dry sufficiently, there's a better look at it. It's a pretty high detail piece, but anyway, I hot glued it to this stick of 3D printed material. This is from a previous project that didn't work. I gave it a good 2 or 3 coats of primer, and now it's pretty smooth. The layer lines have almost entirely disappeared, and now it's time to liberate from the hot glue. Put down the plate so it'll show up easier. Now I'm going to be using some 60 grit sandpaper to just go over first shot. After I hit it with 60, I hit it with some 220 sandpaper, and it basically smoothed it out to the point where I want it to be. I could sand this thing for days and days and hours, and it would get a little bit better, but it would mostly stay the same. So now that I've done all that sanding, I don't want to layer on a bunch of very thick paint that would end up hiding all of the very intricate, very nice detail. There's a very nice high detail piece, and if I just covered it in thick paint, you would lose so much of the detail. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go somewhere between a coat of paint and a wash. I'm just going to paint it with as thin paints as possible as to not hide any of the details, just because I want to have a darker undercoat for the next layer. So I'm going to fill this up with some water. I'm just going to go heavily dilute this paint into this water. I'll be right back. Okay. This can be used later as a weathering paint to weather your models, to add some distress and age and make them look like they've been through some stuff. So they're not looking as clean and fresh. Make them look used and well lived in. And I want to just put down as light a coat as possible, because we did just expose all those details and we don't want to go and hide them again. Make sure you get that beard. The whole reason I wanted to do it this way was to try something that I had never done before. Rub and Buff. Rub and Buff is it's a wax with metallic particles suspended in it, so it actually has metallic properties and give metallic properties to things like plastic. It can actually be polished or buffed, as the name implies. Today I'll be using antique gold. I couldn't find bronze. I was hoping for a bronze, but this will have to do. Alright. Let's hope it's still good. I had this for a while and I haven't used it yet. Oops. Alright. Apparently, it's very much less is more. You want to put it on. Ooh, yeah, that's a lot. as light as possible. Wow, that actually has a really nice look to it. Just the high spots and keeps the low spots dull, like it was actually a real metal, gold, brass statue. Wow. A little bit does really go a long way. I should probably be using gloves for this, but oh well. I really like how that looks. Wow. That stuff looks really nice. I am thoroughly impressed. Okay, well that's how you do rub and buff. And I'm pleased with the results.